That was interesting how it went green.
Let's add the rest of our hibiscus and see what happens. Is it going to change colour? Is it going to stay pink? What's going to happen? Oh, I'm excited. Let's see. So I bought these hibiscus flowers whole with the idea of using them to decorate soap or particularly bath bombs. But the issue that I have with them, what I didn't realise, is how crunchy, and they're actually quite sharp, so they're not good for decorating a soap. But as I mentioned in my ChatGPT video, when I had to use these because I couldn't find the rose petals, you can get colour out of them by boiling them. So I'm going to use these today I'm going to start today making a soap that's coloured with hibiscus water, and I'll probably put some ground hibiscus in there too, but I haven't really decided on whether I will or not yet. So the first thing I'm going to do is weigh out some of these. So I'm not making the soap today, this is the evening. I'm going to boil some of these up and then leave the water to cool and to extract as much colour out of it as possible overnight. Let's have a little bit more light. Okay, so I've got my dinky scales. I want to end up with 64 grams of hibiscus water for the soap recipe that I'm doing. I'm not really sure how much hibiscus to use, so I might just go a little bit over the top here. I think I'm going to just start weighing it out and see what it looks like. See, I tried making some hibiscus soap using hibiscus flowers for the colouring before, but I may not have used enough. It did come out sort of a brown colour. I think that happens anyway with hibiscus, but I'm going to go through this and we can all see how it turns out if you want to use hibiscus flowers. I've got 24 grams there. Gosh. Ooh. Just over 50 grams. So here's my pan. As this is boiling, some of the water is going to evaporate off. I'm just going to I'm not going to weigh the water. I've got about a pint of water. I'm going to add a couple of teaspoons of sea salt. I've added the sea salt because I can remember reading years ago that when you're using natural colourings, salt can help fix the colour. I really don't think that's going to work in this case, but adding salt, it's not going to do the soap any harm. It might make it a little bit harder, if anything. So I'm just going to add the hibiscus flowers into that. Give it a stir. So, can you see already the colour's already coming out of the flowers? A really nice pink colour. See if I can find a little glass. So there you can see, looks a bit like weak Ribena. So now I'm just going to put these on to the hob, bring them to the boil, and then let them simmer for maybe as long as an hour. I'll let you know how long I've simmered them for when I've done it. Ooh. Okay, so I've had these simmering for an hour. It's definitely gone darker. I daren't put a glass in there to get some out because the water is straight off the hob. I had it on the lowest setting I could possibly have it on. I'm going to let this cool off and then put it in the fridge until tomorrow when I'll make the soap. Okay, so here's the hibiscus flowers that have been soaking overnight. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to drain these off into a jug, and then I'll probably leave them so that I can get as much of the liquid out of them as possible. But first I'm going to show you the colour, because it is a really rich blood red. I really don't know how well the camera's picking that up. Here's where I'm going to make a mess, I imagine. Obviously, until it's all drained off, I've no idea how much liquid I've got. I want a maximum of 64 grams of the liquid. There we go, making a mess. So I'm just going to leave that for a while, maybe even a couple of hours, to let all that liquid, as much as possible, drain out. I did consider blending it all up and then squeezing it through cloth, but I think I've got enough liquid, and I think the colours come out really strong. So here's the recipe that I'm going to be using. So I've got 300 grams in oil weight, and I'm going to do the full 38% water, just so I can get as much of this hibiscus into it as possible. So it's just a small batch. I'm going to be using 90 grams of coconut oil, 30 grams of shea butter, 105 grams of olive oil, 30 grams of avocado oil, 30 grams of hempseed oil, 15 grams of castor oil. So it's very busy on the oil front. For that I'll need 42 grams of sodium hydroxide, and when it comes to the hibiscus, I was going to just dissolve my sodium hydroxide into just straight water, but if I've got enough of the hibiscus water, I'll dissolve the sodium hydroxide in 50 grams of water and just put this other 64, well that's the max, 64 grams to one side to add in later. I've got plenty. Okay, so I'm going to just pop that back in there. So about 64 grams here, or no more than 64. $63. Okay, so that's the portion that I'm going to add later. Looks like somebody's had an accident. I'll tell you what, I might try making blood out of this next year, for Halloween, that is. Now I'm just going to weigh out 50 grams for my lye. So it's going to be quite a strong lye solution. Tiny drop more. Oh, it's still saying 49. So 50. And I've got absolutely loads left. I wonder if I could have reduced it. What I'll do is I'll probably freeze this because I can find a use for it, I'm sure. Okay, so I'm just going to weigh out my oils and I'm just going to put them all in here and then just put the jug in to just gently melt while I get my other ingredients ready. So 90 grams of coconut oil. So 30 grams of shea butter. Oh. 30 grams. 105 grams of olive oil. .30 grams of hempseed oil. .30 grams, brilliant. I am using an awful lot of oils here, and I know that there's some makers who say, oh, you only need to use 3 oils to make a good soap, and that is likely true. I've just found that the best soaps that I've made are when I've actually got quite a good combination of oils in there. So here I want 30 grams of avocado oil. Oops. Take its time, it's got a very small spout on it. For drizzling on salads, I suppose. .30 grams of avocado oil. And now castor oil, which is going to be the hardest one to weigh out because it's so thick and viscous and gloopy. Okay, so 15. This bowl's all sticky. Oh, one of my lights has gone out. Ten. That's saying 17. It's just over. I can't take it out. Got a little bit spilled on there. It will be okay. So I'm just going to pop those into my double boiler to gently melt down. Alright, let's weigh out this sodium hydroxide. Okay, so I want 42 grams of this. 42.13, that is cool. Okay, so I'm going to put my lye into my 50 grams of hibiscus. I will add some sodium lactate as well. Oh, that's gone green. And it's turned orange. You know, I'm wondering whether I may just do that again and do it with water. Because I did think that the colour would change. It's a long time since I made the hibiscus soap that I made before. But it did go a brownie colour. That was interesting how it went green. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm going to just do it with the water the way that I'd initially planned to do it. Whether that will make a difference in the long run, I don't know, but that's what I'm going to do. Here I am, right, I'm going to, this is me just adding the sodium hydroxide into water this time. There we go. 42 grams of NaOH in 50 grams of water. Or water, as you might say in the old-fashioned Yorkshire way. Right, I'll let that cool down and let my oils melt. Okay, so hibiscus has a it's kind of fruity, tangy flavour, and as I've mentioned already, I put it in some food that I make, depends what I'm making. It does add some taste to things, and I think it goes great in a chilli, but also it imparts that really nice red colour. So I thought I'd choose some fruity oils. I did think to go with the red sorrel and ginger drink that I absolutely love, that's a West Indian drink. The flavours there are the hibiscus and ginger. I did think about ginger, but yeah, I think I will use a little, I'll do I'm going to do orange, lemongrass and ginger. 4 grams of ginger. So here we go. That's just over 4 grams of ginger, 2 grams of lemon and 3 grams of orange. I'll be here shaking for ages. That's lemongrass, that one. And then 3 grams of sweet orange. Just want to add a little bit of kaolin clay to anchor the scent. Just over 5 grams, that's fine. Give that a wee slur. Give this a wee stir to turn it into a slurry. Wait for everything to heat up, cool down, whatever. Okay, so my oils have melted. I'm ready to get going. So first I'm going to add my essential oil slurry to my oils and give that a blend up. I'm being naughty, I'm not wearing any gloves. I've run out of latex, of the rubber gloves. I've just got the big washing up ones and I don't like them because they're a bit flappy. So don't try this at home, don't do this at home. Do as I say, not as I do. Wear gloves. Now, I know that there must have been some reason that I decided in the first place to do it this way, but then at the last moment I changed my mind. And that's probably that somewhere in the back of my mind I remembered that using the hibiscus water changed the colour to that weird green and then to orange. It's a long time ago since I tried making the hibiscus liquid soap. It's maybe 2 years, maybe more, and I didn't film it then, so I was just going on memory. I didn't remember that happening, but I think at the back of my mind there must have been something saying do it this way instead. Before I add that in, I'm adding some sodium lactate, which helps to harden the soap. Sodium lactate's also a really good humectant, better than glycerin even, so I hear. So I'm just going to put that in and blend it up. Now let's add the rest of our hibiscus and see what happens. Is it going to change colour? Is it going to stay pink? What's going to happen? Oh, I'm excited. Let's see. Yep, it's going green again. So now it doesn't look like we're going to get pink. Oh, I'm getting an awful lot of air in this. I'm going to leave it like that. And just stir it around a bit by hand. Maybe try and stir out some of those air bubbles. So there you go, brown, caramel coloured. I can only think that changed. I don't know what makes it go green, but the brown, I imagine, is because there is actually some sugar in those hibiscus petals. I'm just going to use this mould, which probably looks as got my greasy fingerprints all over it. Whichever way we look at it, this is going to be a really nice soap, which is why I've put some more expensive oils in there. I will be using it. Oops. Probably get another bar out of that, but I've only got one of these moulds. Right, I hope that's enough. I'm just going to leave those that are here to saponify. I might as well fill up one of these heart moulds. Okay, so that's it for that. From that beautiful blood red to that. Looks like wine actually. Okay, so I'm just going to leave those to saponify here and then I'll come back when they're done and I'm going to mould them. Okay, so it's been 24 hours. Back to unmold these soaps. This one, I couldn't resist just having a little mess with the top. It's still a bit soft though. Okay, so first of all, before I unmold these, is it worth putting hibiscus in there? Well, if it's for the colour, no, because as you can see, it does very little. What about the ingredient itself? So there's lots of claims about hibiscus. I've seen stuff on the internet on about soap as well, saying that it's got AHAs that are good for your skin, blah 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 blah. Alpha hydroxy acids are acids, okay? So the minute that you add the lye into there, all those acids vanish. So I think when it comes to hibiscus, the only thing it's really going to be useful for in soap is it looks nice on the label. It's got label appeal. I think as for actually doing anything for your skin, I'm very doubtful, but don't quote me. Right, let's unmold these. I'll put that to one side. I really struggle with this mould to get stuff out, but it has a nice little round shape. They're useful. So there we are, really nice and smooth. And because I've only got one light, it's probably not showing up or it's reflecting. Let me see if I can just turn the light down slightly. Is that any better? I can still see a lot of reflection. So it's a nice smooth soap. I'm just going to shave them. I'll take these out and just shave those down. As for the smell, I can definitely smell the ginger. I'm not getting much of the orange coming through. I can smell the ginger and the lemongrass, and I just wonder if that's because of the that intense heat that happened when I added the hibiscus, because it did seem to heat things up very quickly. It soon settled down again. I wonder if that evaporated lots of the orange off. There we are. Let's get our heart-shaped one out, this is a much easier mould to manage. There we are, lovely. I quite like them like that, actually. Let's do it the right way. So you got done one, and then I kind of just smooth it round to get a rounded edge. There, lovely. I quite like them like that. And then this has got some hardening to do, and then I just can go around the edges, rounding it off just with my fingers. And then I know that this is going to look absolutely lovely when I've steamed it. It'll be really nice and shiny and satiny looking. There we go, hibiscus soap. Let me know if you try it, and I'll see you later. Bye.